Hello and welcome everyone to this Warcraft replay. This is going to be the third and final game of this AWC round of 5. This is the Group A not qualifiers, but this is from Group A. I'm XiXi spawning in as the pink Knight of Play on the top left, and WFZ spawning in as the red Undead player on the bottom right. The series is tied up 1-1. It is a best of 3, so this is basically the last game. So yeah, game 1, pretty solid from WFZ, playing strong ghoul opening into a Crypt Fiend Destroyer, actually not even Destroyer, just Crypt Fiend Mass Ghoul, Frenzy Ghoul actually, transition, and pretty much just won against XiXi's rather swarmy Dark Ranger opening into Mass Dryads, which did not work out so well in game 1. Game 2, WFZ kind of played the same thing. He did add destroyers into his mix though, so that was the only difference there. No abominations either. So I guess those were the only differences. However, the Warden for XiXi was the biggest difference, and the playstyle was mainly like opposite sides of the coin. The Warden just dealt so much damage inside of WFZ that it kind of forced him to GG out of it because he knew his economy pretty much sucked compared to XiXi's. I'm not sure if WFZ saw the upcoming expansion for XiXi, but I mean, the economy was going to suck for WFZ, that was no doubt. Usually Undead players don't go for second expansions. They usually try to unsummon some of their non-essential buildings, like maybe the Altar of Darkness or maybe the Crypt that you don't use anymore, just to create that last bit of units. And they try to go for an all-in play instead of expanding. So I guess that's what WFZ was hoping not to come into, and apparently it was looking like it. So he just GG'd out of it. I'm expecting big plays from the Warden once again, halfway to level 2, just from that green creep camp alone. Looks like he might be able to get some jacks over here. Nope, gonna go straight into that Death Knight. Like I said before, it is rather unlikely that WFZ will let that DK get killed by the Warden so clumsily. So I guess she's just doing just that little bit of damage onto the Death Knight. DK does have +3 intelligence, the Warden does have +3 strength. I would rather prefer the intelligence on that, on either of these two heroes, than strength. And there we go with the mass ghouls. Warden can't really do much. She could try and focus one of these ghouls, but WFZ is surprisingly starting off with Death Coil instead of the usual Unholy Aura. I guess that was generally the same for game 1 and 2, although game 1 he did pretty much have a reason to go for that Death Coil because he could get that early Wisp kill. But now it looks like he is preferring the Death Coil over the Unholy Aura. I guess this time it's because he's not going to harass until he gets to level 2, which he will get over here. The skeletal minions will be spawned again. There we go with the detonate right from the Wisp. It will give a bit of experience to the Warden, and it will pretty much make WFZ a pretty sad undead because he just spawned those skeletons as well. Cooldown on that thing is not short. Plus it is a rather expensive item, so if you... It is, I think, 150 gold for the Rod of Necromancy. If you just lost it to a single Wisp, which is like 60 gold, it's rather sad. Although I guess the Wisp is better over the skeletons because there is 4 charges from this rod. Hunter's Hole has been placed down, and we are very close to level 2 on that, tier 2 on that expansion. Not expansion, wow. On the tech. Words are hard. So that is going to be rather crippling for XiXi in my opinion. Hunter's Hole is solely relied on for this kind of build because XiXi is most likely going to go for double Ancient of Lores, which does require the Hunter's Hole. If you can't manage to get at least one out, this would be rather crippling for his mid game. And the Warden is forced to use that early TB scroll. I don't think she managed to get off any kills. I don't think she'll get off the kill on this ghoul. So rather sad. Yeah, we'll live with 4 health. 4 health? 9 health I meant. I thought it was a level 2 Shadow Strike, but I forgot the Warden's only level 1. This turtle is going to be taken out. The item will be a Cloak of Shadows, it looks like. Not that good, but in this particular instance it is pretty much half of nighttime, so that is kind of a useful item, especially against an assassin like the Warden. Wow, XiXi's not really playing up to par right here, able to get that giant sea turtle just sniped, was able to get the 500 healing potion, but we also saw XiXi just losing that Ancient of War. So that was not ideal at all. We might even have a Shadow Strike just to finish off this ghoul. The Death Knight is doing very nicely to just pretty much block that Warden. We did have a blink right there to try and take out that ghoul, but the Death Knight, just channeling his inner Archmage, denied the ghoul himself, and pretty much denied any bit of experience that would have been gained. We do have the Ancient of Wonders completed. We'll deal with that skeleton, however the skeleton will pretty much deal with himself. And the Ancient of Lores have finally been placed down. Tier 3 has now begun. And we look over at WFZ. He has halfway, pretty much finished halfway to Tier 3. He does have a couple of Crypt Fiends coming out very soon. Slaughterhouse is halfway done as well. And pretty much things look rather good for WFZ because he is just that ahead in terms of technology. One of his Ancient of Lores might even be forced to be cancelled right here because of just constant pressure from WFZ. He does have that Lich as his second hero. There we go, the Frost Nova trying to kill that archer. However, the Moonwells were able to save her. One ghoul has been taken out so far. This ghoul looks like he will follow very soon. That will be 2 kills for the Warden in this particular fight. There we go, the TB staff from the Warden over here, and things not looking good for the Death Knight so far. However, not enough mana for a Shadow Strike on the Warden. We are very close to level 3 on that Warden. However, she does not have much mana to spare. Second hero needs to be up very soon as well if she wants to do well later on. So yeah, there's that second Ancient of Lore being placed down. We do have one Dryad out, but we're gonna go straight into Bear Technology. So, or at least as of now. Well, it worked in game 2, so why won't it work in game 3? Let's just see how well it actually does work, because I still believe that it was mainly the Warden that changed the face of the game instead of the actual choices of choices of units. Yeah. However, Warden is not that scary right now. She is only level 2, very close to level 3. She does not have a panda who's doing well right now. She doesn't even have a panda at all. So this might be rather awkward for her to actually try something here. She loses himself an archer. I was gonna point something out, but does he have enough resources for a second hero? He does not have the lumber, surprisingly enough, so that might be a bit of a problem. Able to steal that giant sea turtle, able to get level 3 as well. It looks like WFZ just had enough. He is just going to go straight after those archers. I believe Frenzy has been researched. That is why those ghouls look like they are very hyper right now. Death Coral able to finish off that low hit point archer. We do have a Shadow Strike on that Death Knight, but it does not look like it's doing much. Especially with those statues out, they can pretty much rectify the damage being dealt over here. Greater Healing Potion has been picked up. The lesser, just normal Healing Potion will be given to the Lich. And that's pretty much how things are going right now. both players have one greater healing potion in both their heroes' inventories. Watcher Camp is going to be taken out. However, I think things are more pertinent at XiXi's main base. The Troll Trappers will be able to ensnare both a Dryad and a Bear. This Bear will be taken out very soon. He is able to rejuvenate himself, but the rejuvenate will be absorbed by the Destroyer. And wow, so much burst coming down on the Warden. The Archers will be now facing that burst instead of the Warden. And there we go with Preservation Staff to try and save one of the Bears, but the Bear is literally right over there. And instead of going for a Naga Sea Witch, WC is going to go straight after a Dark Ranger. Maybe to deny that Warden pretty much her primary burst for quite a while. No invulnerability potion on that Warden. Pretty much no mana either. This is a terrible time for XiXi to actually be defending right here. And WFZ probably knows that. However, it is about to become nighttime very soon. As soon as I believe it turns into 1800, it will become nighttime, and those Moonwells will be able to regenerate that mana. There we go with a huge focus on the Death Knight. He does have a greater healing potion though. That is the biggest like slap in the face so far. However, it looks like the Death Knight is going to be focused down again. It is indeed nighttime. There we go with the normal health pot being used on the Warden. She is silenced and she could be possibly sniped. Oh, DK was forced to use the TP scroll right there, and the Shadow Strike will not be able to kill him off anytime soon. Rejuvenate will be given on to that Warden. How many Moonwells have been destroyed? I believe only 2 has been destroyed in this battle, but that is quite a bit, because right now XiXi only has the resources to build 1. He also needs to use those resources to rebuild his army, which it looks like WFZ has just managed to pretty much renumber on. So far, 49 versus 29. This seems like a clear difference in army, as we also have 1 destroyer in the air. I believe we would have more, but not for now. There we go with a silence into a Nova Coil combination. Moonwalls will try to heal up as best as they can. 1 bear will bite the dust. We will soon have another bear being picked off right over here. The Warden trying to play some funny things with the Death Knight. However, the Death Knight pretty much just pushes the Warden away. There we go with the Shadow Strike and GG from XiXi, and that is going to be Game 3 of this Best 3 series. So yeah, we currently have 3 series done for AWC, and we have plenty more where that came from, unfortunately. Well, it might be just fortunate for you guys. It is rather unfortunate for me, because I have quite a bit of work ahead of me. I will see you guys next time, and yeah, take care.